to my Twitch-a-rooney. Where's my channel? Hang on, everybody. Oh, okay. I believe we are live. Can you check for me, Eric? Because my thing got discombobulated, which is a phrase that nobody ever wants to hear in their entire life.
Yeah, it says offline.
Offline still? Can you refresh?
It's live. I see ads now.
Okay.
I don't know why I have to do that. Why can't I just do it in real time?
I don't know. I wish it did. Yeah, we're live. This is RPGrinders. I'm on with Eric RPG. We're waiting for Breakman to get on, but we're going to have a heck of a show for everybody today. We got quite a bit of news stories. Obviously, homie discounts always. I have a couple of reviews. It looks like Eric has a shit ton of reviews. Either that or the names of what he's doing are long, which that's the case too, but he does have a shit ton of reviews. I got a couple. Our Stinkos are going to be pretty interesting this week. Sweetos are going to be great. And the return of Panic Zone tonight. Do you have your Panic Zone for this week, Eric?
No, this one's going to be more of a math problem.
Okay, we'll get to it. We'll get to it when we get there. But I have an interesting one that's kind of a take on what I did last time.
I had another one, but I'll save it for later. But
okay.
Because I'd rather do this because I want to see what people's reactions are.
Okay, no worries. I have one that's kind of related to what I did last time, so we'll delve into that. It's going to be
based
awesome.
on something I showed you in a tweet a couple weeks ago.
Okay. We're doing 2 Panic Zones because we have to make up for lost time because next week is our final RPGrinders for the month. And then we're taking the following Friday off. But I believe, is it next month we have 5 Fridays, Eric?
That's what Break said, I think.
I think so. So we'll probably do another Grinder Dance Party, which, I mean, I was a little rusty, but I thought it went well last time, Eric. I think you had fun. I think Break had fun, and everybody that was listening had fun as well. So we're going to do that.
I don't have time to do any reviews on the feed this week.
That's all right.
I wanted to do it today, but then I had gas issues, and I just didn't get around to it. I just laid on my bed until it got better.
Ooh, stomach issues, huh?
No, I just needed to poop, but my body wouldn't let me until it said, "Oh,
you need more fiber in your diet or greens. You know, some types of salads or something. You know, something to get those bowels moving." If you're just listening, the show's RPGrinders. We're going to be having a great show today. Yeah.
But
so,
I did hashtag poop today, at least.
Hashtag you poop today. Sweet. We're about 10 minutes away from showtime.
It's just like, you know, your body needs to poop, but your body's not acting fast enough for you to poop.
Yeah. HVD is lurking, as well as Regress. Break is in there as well.
So you just kind of feel awful until it's ready to come out.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna have fun with the Panic Zones today. I think mine is, like I said, a riff on what I did last time. I think we're having fun with Panic Zone, aren't we, Eric? I thought we all did it.
My other Panic Zone was actually based on the old podcast, zombie-based podcast that Freak did that I was a guest on.
Oh shit! Cool.
But, like, I wanted to do it because you two weren't there to give your own answers, so I kind of want to give you that opportunity.
Well, there you go. Maybe next go-around, which will be 2 months from now, Eric, we'll do that.
But I think the math problem's more interesting right now.
Okay. We'll go with it.
Because I want to talk about why I even thought about it in the first place.
Yeah. Let's see. What else do we got? Shit, my ears are itching. What does that mean? I'm losing my hearing, probably? I don't have wax in there. My Bernie got a.
Or either that, or you've got hairs that have gotten drooped down into your earlobe to just tickle you.
Oh my god, that would be awful.
That happens to me sometimes.
Ugh.
It's like it's probably time to either A, get a haircut or just get a trim.
I'm not getting a haircut, Eric. I have long, long, long hair that I am not willing to get rid of. I worked too hard for it. When I was married to my ex, she would not allow me to have long hair, so...
It's like, I'm not balding, but I'm at the age where my hair doesn't grow as fast anymore, or as long.
Yeah, hang on one second, Eric. What's up?
They're in.
Who's in?
My glasses.
Why
But
don't you
the
have
hair on my
kids
sides
go
of my
get
head
them?
does grow back a lot. And I hate that.
How many tomorrow morning?
There's stuff we have to do tomorrow, sweetheart.
Did they close it?
If you please, just ask him if he can take you.
He's on the phone.
Eric, hang tight 1 second. I need to ask my dad something. Bear with
He's
me.
on the phone.
It doesn't matter if he's on the phone. Bear with me. Let me call Break. Let me add Break to the call here.
Excuse me.
Let's add Break to the phone call first, and then I have something to do really quick. Hold on, we're calling Break right now. Yo, Break.
Yo.
All right, hang on 1 second, dude. Bear with me. I gotta go do something really, really quick. I'll be right back. Eric's with you. Hang on 1 second.
There she goes. About
I don't care.
I do. I don't like to bother people. No.
what episode is this?
I think it's 784.
Damn, 784. Okay, cool. All right, I'm ready then. I'm ready now. Let's do it. All right, we don't need Frank. Let's go.
Yeah, well, it was just me and him last week, so now just me.
Yep, he's fired. He's
What are we going to do for intro? Harmonica, I guess?
Oh yeah, I got cowbell. I got harmonica. I got train whistle here. I got some. I think that's all I got. No, there's some. What are these things? I don't know what the hell this thing is.
Oh boy, I come back to that. Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
I don't know what it is though.
Hey,
It's a kazoo.
Breakman,
What's it?
how you doing, bud?
Okay. It's our new intro.
That's our new intro.
You could almost do the Sanford and Sons intro.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like a mixture between two things I hate the most: harmonica and a train.
or a goose that, like, choked on something.
Yeah, a
Can
goose.
somebody help that poor goose? No, it's just to do with a weird musical thing. I don't know what the hell that thing is.
Drop Snat's in there, and Dunk Seven's in there too, lurking.
Maybe theremin. I don't know.
Train Monica,
A
Wyland says.
theremin that's way out of tune.
Train Monica. Wyland, nice to have you in here, buddy. We actually talk shit. I mean, we were talking about you last week or the week before, I can't remember, and you didn't happen to be in here, but
Oh yeah, we kind of need to tell him that his character died.
oh yeah, Wyland, your character died. But I'm sure we'll resurrect you at some point, Wyland. He's like,
Something
no.
What you get for not being here?
I know, you gotta be here, Wyland. Sorry. No, that's not the way it works. We're gonna have a great show for you guys today. I promise. It's gonna be really... What, sweetheart? What?
Nothing.
Okay. I blame Breakman. I blame him too. It was totally Breakman. He wanted to kill all of us, just like every other...
I was the guy who was playing the monsters. I mean,
I know. I know.
Was trying to kill you.
What's funny is like I was rolling really good through that whole game break, like literally, like if I rolled shitty, I would tell you, you know, because I like the chaos.
Wasn't it? At least it was the boss that killed you.
I know.
think.
Yeah, that's the solace that you can take, Wyland. It was the boss that killed you.
But finish that story. Tell him how you died.
Go ahead, Eric. Tell the story. You can probably do it in better detail than I can.
Like it was a slime for like Drag Quest, but imagine it being shit instead. And he did a squish attack.
You died by a poop, Wyland. A poop killed you. A poop
Hashtag I
slime.
pooped today.
Hashtag I
You know
pooped
why
today.
that poop killed him? Because Frank kept rolling 1.
I did, Wyland. I have to admit, I think 3 times in a row for you, Wyland, I rolled a 1. No joke, dude. Legit, man. Like legit rolled a 1. I'm like, damn it. What the fuck? It was awful, man. I rolled shitty. I think I'm gonna have Eric roll for you next time.
I need to get a die for myself.
I thought you were getting a die. Jesus, dude.
You need
No,
to
I
buy some
haven't.
tape over like the
I'll
wall.
go to Amazon and like after the show and order it.
I tell you what, Wyland, I'll weight the die for you. I'll have a weighted die for you next time. I promise. No, I'm not gonna do that. Oh, there's the stink. Here, I forgot about. I'm just gonna put
weighted die.
blanket. Hey, Scotoma's back. Banana hammock. I know what you're referring to, Scotoma. How dare you? You were funny in that chat, Scotoma. I'm gonna tell you, you were cracking me up, dude.
Is this something that was on the hot tub?
No, it wasn't on the hot tub. It was on. I did a content creator 101 kind of little mini class.
It's
Class.
Frank was when he was changing his clothes.
How dare you? Let me put this blanket. I'll remember what that is. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's the kid of Michael Jackson.
Blanket.
Yes.
Yeah. I swear you would look like Jack Black. No, I'm not that big, Scotoma. I'm big, but not that big, dude. Come on, man. All right. Although that would be kind of a compliment, I guess, because Jack Black is definitely comfortable in this skin. All right, let's get this party started. You guys ready to go?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, sure. Let's do
The
it.
return of Panic Zone tonight. I'm excited, guys. Okay, here we go. And welcome everybody to RPGrinders episode 784. I'm your host, Frank Branches, and alongside me are my trusty, crusty cohorts, Eric the Great and the returning Breakman. It wasn't the same without you last week, Breakman. How are you? Yeah, there you go, man. That kind of says it all, Break. You're I'm glad you're back, dude.
Thanks.
Good to have you. Eric the Great, how are you, sir?
I'm much better than I was last week because last week I had nasal drip issues dealing with.
Yeah. Scotoma says he got some practice in. Nice. So even people are noticing that you're practicing a little bit with that
I'm not
harmonica.
sure I want to see Gundam Seed Freedom of the Theaters Wufei because it's Gundam Seed. And
Yeah.
it's something I'd rather wait for it to be shown on Crunchyroll because that's going to happen.
Yeah, he says no tickets for it just yet.
I'd rather see the new Spy X Family movie next week.
Yeah. Let me. You know what? My levels on my my microphone are just way fucking out of control here. You guys are way lower than I am, and I can't have that. I want it to be perfection. Damn it, perfection.
I mean, see Destiny. Sea Freedom can't be nearly as bad as Sea Destiny, though, can it?
That's better. That's better. I'm more on the level with you guys now. All right, we'll just fuck it. It is what it is. You guys gonna have to deal with it, I guess. All right. Let's get into the news, guys. What do you say? Let's just get right to it. RPG news. All right, Eric, you're up.
Okay, Fallout 4 is getting a current gen update for PS5 and the Xbox Series X and X.
Really?
And apparently even the PC version is getting some improvements.
Ooh.
That's so fucking weird to me. Like, that game is how old, and they're just now getting
It's one of the best games ever made.
I agree. I've never played. I played it, I think, for like 5 minutes break. So I'll take your word on it. You're more of a Fallout guy than I am. But why did it take so long? Like so
the update for PC isn't the same thing, but it will get support for widescreen resolutions.
A lot of the updates that are going on now have to do with the TV show happening.
Really? Okay, I see.
Like they're I think Amazon's giving out free copies of 76 now if you get their if you sign up for Amazon.
Oh God! Please don't base your series on 76.
Isn't nearly as much as a dumpster fire as it was at launch, but
yeah.
But wasn't that
took them like what 7 years for them to fix that game?
Wasn't that the way?
I mean, they do fix them. Like Starfield right now is not the greatest, but I know once they've got the updates in, I know it's going to be a lot better.
Yeah.
Eventually.
That's why
I don't want to play Starfield on the Xbox until they get 60 FPS working.
This is why I don't play Bethesda games at least a year out. Like I refuse to play them because I know they're going to be better. Just what breaks
Where's the modern day console ports of Fallout 3 though? And New Vegas
until they add the ability to mod because that's coming to Starfield.
Yeah.
Mod come, that's going to fix a lot of problems, and then
that's sad that the Bethesda has to rely on everybody else to fix their game, man. I mean, it's just I don't know. Big ups to the mod community for sure, but man, I just wish that
maybe they can make a total conversion mod that actually is more interesting than the base game.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
please change the story and get rid of some of the stupidity, like the multiverse. Maybe that mod, that'd be nice.
Yeah, right.
Just fix the script a bit.
Right. Yeah, fix the script, acting.
Write the script. Let's start over.
Yeah, let's just
fan community edited dialogue and new voice acting to accompany it.
Oh wow, yeah.
Oh my God, I want like a Mystery Theater 3000 take on it. Like the voices just don't match up. And
I know.
Saying shit, like what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, exactly. All right, break next story, please.
Coming to us live from RPG site, Remnant 2 unravels new mysteries within Yesha and the Forgotten Kingdom DLC on April 23rd. Developer Gunfire Games and publisher Art Games has pulled back the curtain on the second DLC coming on April 23rd for Remnant 2, The Forgotten Kingdom. Why did they even bother to put that? Whatever. This expands the world of Yesha with a new storyline containing new areas. Plus, there'll be a new archetype, the Invoker.
No, I think they have to let people know because they don't want people to think it's like a useless iOS update where it just changes the number and nothing else.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're probably right. But we get the games like where we get updates pretty frequently, but it's for like small shit that has nothing to do with anything like Nintendo for like 6 months in a row. Every time they update their online, it's just a patch for something.
Right, right.
A patch to patch out the vulnerabilities that will lead to custom firmware.
I have a question for you guys. I know games have, really evolved to the point where DLC is like the thing, like it's the game after the game, right? But how long ago did Remnant 2 come out?
I think it's been exactly a year.
It has been a year for Remnant 2, really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It might be a couple months. or so before it's a full year.
Well, that shoots my theory all to hell. I was gonna say like they already had the DLC ready, and then they just want to release it like a
this
few
is
months
the second
after.
DLC patch.
Yeah, that's true too.
So they've already had one come out.
Why don't they just come out with another game that includes that DLC? You know, I mean, like what Nintendo does, like with Xenoblade and a few others. They just come out with a whole new fucking game to add on to that
Because
game.
at some point you have to sell a game, so if you have plans for DLC, you just have to release it later.
Yeah,
Like, that's how I thought Fallout 3 and 4 was Game of the Year edition. You know, I waited until the DLC was out, so I knew it was fixed and it worked.
I'm waiting for all that shit to break. I mean, I've gotten to the point in my life. I'm not like I was when I was a kid, where I had to see every movie day of and get every game day of and all that shit. You know, I've moved well beyond that. Like I'm the opposite. I'll wait as long as humanly possible before I get a game anymore, unless it's Dragon Quest related. Then of course I want that. But it's just. I don't know. How far games have come.
When you think about it, Dragon Quest games take as long to develop as a Miyazaki film does to release.
Yeah, that's true too. That is true. That's true, Eric. All right, anything else on this break?
No, that's it.
All right, next story comes to us from RPGsite.net. Oh shit, hold on. There we go. And it's a pretty game, I can tell you that much. Gestalt, Steam, and Cinder ventures to PC on May 21st. It's kind of a side scroller action type game. What would you say this game reminds you of, Eric? Like
it looks kind of like a Metroidvania Souls-like.
Yeah, I would say
I'm
that.
really keen to play it. I've been waiting forever to come out.
It looks good. It looks really good. I mean, it's got like pixelized art, old school style. But you could tell it's definitely modern with some of the gameplay and the techniques that they use in here. It's gorgeous. It has little mini, not cutscenes, but little vignettes in between, and it looks great.
It is coming to console, but we don't have any information on that yet.
It looks really good.
It's probably not until the fall at the latest.
Yeah, Gestalt. That's a game to keep an eye out on for sure. All right, Eric, next story, please.
Next story is a game that was kickstarted called Runa and Science Fantasy RPG. And Fennec Studios is the name of the developer. And it's been in development since at least late 2021.
Yeah.
According to this. And it launched... Oh wait, it hasn't actually launched a Kickstarter yet. That's in a couple days on the 16th.
Yeah, it kind of looks like
turn-based RPG.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a mixture between Final Fantasy VII old school style with updated graphics and something like the Tales series to me. I don't know. That's kind of the art vibe that I get, but it looks gorgeous. And I'm looking forward to this too, especially since it's turn-based RPG. Wow. Oh, look at this. Clearly inspired by JRPG classics like, I don't get this comparison, Persona and Xenoblade. I get the Xenoblade comparison.
A little bit.
I can see the Xenoblade for sure, but not the Persona. I don't know.
I think it's talking about the fancy looking font and stuff.
Oh, maybe that's what they're talking about. But looks great, and it's got a guy with a giant sword, so you can't go wrong with that. All right, Eric, next story, please.
Next story is SNES Online gets 3 new games, and this is rather eclectic selection of games because 2 of them were only released in Japan, and one of them is not the best version of R-Types with Super R-Type. The other 2 are Amazing Hebereke, which is, if you've played Euphoria the Saga on the NES from Sunsoft, this is basically just a party / mini game collection. So that's probably why they didn't bother, because you wouldn't need to read dialogue necessarily to play it. And then Nintendo's Wrecking Crew 98, which is one of the last Super Famicom games to be released. That's why it's called in '98 because it released in '98.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. All right.
Like everybody moved on to like the 3D and polygons and shit, and they're still making Super Nintendo games in
So
'98.
yeah, it's
I
like the last. I think the last 3 Super Famicom games that were released were Rock Band and Fort, this, and I think the last Disney Magical Kingdom game, Tokyo Disneyland. It was
Ooh,
like Mickey, Minnie, and Tokyo Disneyland.
Japan gets Battletoads so they can pull what's left of their hair out. You know.
Yeah, I think it was Battletoads and Marvelous, and then they also got R-Type and Wrecking Crew '98.
Yeah. All right. Anything else on that, Eric?
Battletoads is one of the biggest letdowns in gaming because that first stage of Battletoads is so much fun.
I know.
And
They
then everything after is dog shit.
they lured you in, Break, and they're like, "This is gonna be a great game," and you're like, "Oh, I'm so happy I bought this," and then by the second level, you're like, "I want to pull my fucking hair out, and I hate this fucking game, and I want to
People
throw my
like
controller."
Battletoads because it was a big fart joke.
Yeah. All right, Break. Next story.
Did we do the Runa story?
The what?
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
I didn't hear. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. My bad. Coming to us live from Gamatsu, Ubisoft and Evil Empire announced the Rogue Prince of Persia for PC, due out in early access on May 14th. Ooh.
These are the Dead Cell developers.
Yeah, I was looking at it. It does have a kind of a Dead Cell feel to it, like the art style. But
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a challenging game. They're not. I don't think they're gonna hide on it.
no, Dead Cells is definitely a challenging game for sure. All right.
And the artwork is interesting because it looks like you're looking at an old Persian painting.
Yeah, it does. It does look like that. It's kind of cool. I don't know. All right. Next story comes to us from Gamatsu. Hyperlight Breaker launches in early access this summer. So sometime this summer you'll get Hyperlight Breaker.
Yeah, this is the sequel to Hyperlight Drifter.
Right. And it looks more of the same, which is always good in my
But
view.
3D.
But 3D, yeah. And I'm playing the trailer now. Let's see if it looks anything like. Yeah, I mean this is the next step in Hyperlight Drifter's evolution here, and it looks fantastic. It looks great. They did a pretty good job. It's definitely challenging. The first one is, anyways, and this should be.
I'm not so
no
sure
exception.
that I like the idea that they moved it to a roguelike genre instead of like making it more like a Souls-like.
Maybe, I don't know. It might turn out to be great, Eric. You just have to try it first, you know. All right, Eric.
So I
Next.
don't necessarily hate roguelikes. It's just that there are so few that I actually can get into.
Yeah,
a lot of them
I'm.
devolve into you being unable to advance or it just having a paper thin plot, so I don't have a reason to keep pushing forward.
Yeah, I agree. All right, next story, Eric.
Next story is Undermine 2, which is a sequel to Undermine, which is another roguelike game, which I heard was fun, but I just never got around to playing it when it was on Game Pass. And
All right.
I think this one's going to have co-op play. Yeah, it says play with a friend. So the
All
first
right.
game was just a single-player game.
Yeah, it looks fun. I mean, I'm not into roguelikes like you. It's definitely takes some getting used to. Do you like roguelikes, Break?
I don't know. I haven't really played any. Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
it's,
like how you can use the environment to your advantage. Like, you could light oil on the ground on fire to kill your enemies.
what game was like that? It was a first-person game. I think it was BioShock. You could do that, right? Like you shoot.
Yeah, Bioshock. Oh man.
God, BioShock's
Yeah,
so good.
That new game that's coming out that's totally not Bioshock but looks like Bioshock.
The one where all the people
Judas.
that worked on BioShock went to do that game. Yeah, that game.
I'm not interested in Judas, to be honest, because, like, Ken Levine spent 9 years to make Judas, and it's just Bioshock again.
No,
I'm
I want
interested.
Bioshock. I want Bioshock without the stupid story of the last game, essentially.
Yeah, which I don't trust him to do either, because the lag was so
Check
dog shit.
That's fair.
Is it more the story for you guys or the gameplay?
It's the gameplay for me. Like I love the combination of like being able to freeze them,
Yeah.
use fire, and like all the different like.
I mean, Bioshock Infinite was fun to play, but its story was just a complete mess.
Yeah. BioShock Infinite was pretty good.
The
For sure.
first two games had a good story, especially the first one.
Yeah,
Like it had one of those big reveals at the end.
Yeah. That reveal was one of the greatest.
It was like the Sixth Sense of video games, honestly.
Yeah, you almost felt like the game used and abused you after you found out that reveal, huh? Like it was like wow, that it was kind of mind blowing. I mean, I love that ending a lot. I think it's one of the greatest endings in video game history. But yeah.
And we're not gonna spoil it. You let people find that out.
We are definitely not going to spoil it, even though it's an old ass game by our standards now. You know, it's like.
No shit,
All right, I think is it my turn next? Who did this Undermine story?
Oh, that was me. So
it's Breakman. Next
coming to us live, Numatsu. Never Alone 2 announced for PC. Never Alone. Well, I mean, you're still not alone, I guess. Discover a world of fierce frozen beauty in Never Alone 2, the upcoming 3D sequel to the BAFTA award-winning adventure drawn from the Umpiak storytelling tradition.
I love it.
Yeah. Inupiaq?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, Inuit's not Break's strongest suit.
Inuit, yeah, I'm not, I do not know speaking yet, it's true. Through the breathtaking Alaskan wilderness as Noonan Fox, her spirit companion, along the way, unearthing an epic mystery that threatens your entire community.
Yeah, I'm down for this game because I just got done watching True Detective, which I did a review for last week, the season 4, and it used a lot of Inuit kind of spiritual stuff, and I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was really good. I think I gave it an 8 out of 10. Had a really great ending to that season 2 that I did not expect. But this game looks kind of interesting. I don't know if it comes out on console, I might check it out.
Play the first game.
Yeah,
I have it somewhere.
What is it on the consoles?
Yeah, you can get it everywhere, but
okay.
The Switch. I think the Switch. There might be a Switch version, but I'm not entirely sure about that.
Okay, I'll check. I'll check it out. What's up, Freak 5? Nice to have you here as well. Welcome on in. All right, next story comes to us from Gamatsu. Vampire Survivors coming to PS5 and PS4 this summer. DLC Operation Guns featuring Contra.
Yeah, they're basically promoting Operation Galaga. That's why it's called Operation Guns.
I got you. Okay. I'm just trying to fast forward it. Is that what I'm looking at here? Yeah. It's like if you took what the hell is the name of that game? It was an Atari game where you went around. It was like a twin shooter. If you took that game, which one?
Berserk, you mean?
Berserk or a game like Robotron. Yeah, Robotron. And you mixed it with there was another game that was kind of a lot like this that wasn't like pixelated like this, but I can't remember. It was like Vampire Hunters or something like that.
Hunter the Reckoning.
Hunter the Reckoning, that's it. Damn, how did you get that?
Game.
That was a great game, man. I hardly anybody played it, but it was a great game. I liked it. Yeah. All right. Let's see who's next here.
I like the storyline behind this. It says the president's cousin's sister's dog has been kidnapped by Red Falcon. Are you bad enough to come to the rescue?
Freak 5's that's a good comparison too. Freak 5 Smash TV. That's the one. That's another one I was thinking of. Smash TV. All right, Eric, you get the honors of the last story.
The last story is Slay the Spire 2 has been announced for PC. I'm pretty sure it'll be ported everywhere else like the first game won.
Of course it will. Of course. First game sold pretty well. So
it's going to go into early access in 2025.
Yeah. All right. Do we have any homie discounts, Eric?
I think the first Slay the Spire is still on Game Pass, but I'm not entirely sure.
Freak 5 says...
Homie discounts, we got PS Games Catalog games for April. And let's see. For those who have extra and premium, the games you can get are Animal Well, Construction Simulator, The Crew 2, Dave the Diver, Deliver Us Mars, Lego Marvel's Avengers, Lego Ninjago movie video game. I think they make the distinction because there's a Lego Ninjago game that was based on the TV series. But Miasma Chronicles, Nower, Play with Your Food, and Oddballers, Raiji, the ancient epic, Stray Blade, Tales of Kinzara, Zal, which I'm looking forward to, and it comes out on the 23rd. That's a African-based Metroidvania game.
Oh, I remember that. Does look interesting, Eric.
And for the classics catalog, these are all PSP titles. Oh, it says PlayStation. These are the PlayStation ones. There's only one PSP title because I'm so used to being nothing but PSP games.
Yeah.
But Alone in the Dark: The New Nightmare, Medieval, and I just played the remake, honestly, but I wouldn't play either because I played the remake and I was bored to tears from it. Star Wars Rebel Assault 2: The Hidden Empire, and for the PlayStation Portable game, you got this is only exclusive to Japan and Asia, but it's Ori no Shikabane o Koite Yoke.
Jesus, Eric.
Which I don't know what it's translated to.
No, but you can sure say it.
I remember hearing that game. I gotta look it up.
Yeah. Let's see.
I think it might be a VN.
Freak5 says it was good. I have most of the Hunter the Reckoning TTRP tabletop role playing game books. Yeah, there are a ton of books. Break. I used to play that tabletop game too. And I believe there were 2 Hunter the Reckoning video games. Freak. Yeah. Part of the World of Darkness. Yeah, like Wraith and.
This is Orishika. You know what that game is, Frank? Don't you?
Orishika. What does that sound?
This is the original Orishika game.
What is that? Why does that sound? Oh, okay.
Because there was a sequel on the Vita called Orishika.
Okay. Yeah. The World of Darkness is really good stuff. That's like Vampire Masquerade and Werewolf and some others, I think. But yeah. Okay. What else do we got here? Okay, so let's move on to what we've been playing.
Inquiring minds want to know.
What you been playing, Breakfield? I'm looking at your thing here, and you still have Starfield here. Are you still playing Starfield?
Actually, I was about to say Starfield. I've still been playing a bit of that. I've advanced the story a little bit more, but mostly I've just been trying to level up. Just for whatever reason, leveling just is its own addiction, I guess. I was able to go back and complete a couple of the quests. I guess some patches do work. Whatever.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Although at one point my partner just stopped escorting me. I don't know why, and I just decided to go with it and say fuck it.
I think with those games you have to say fuck it, Break, because I remember when Skyrim came out, like I saw a lot of the weirdness that a lot of people saw, like dragons like flying backwards and just shit like that, and I'm like, you just have to fucking roll with it. It's a Bethesda game, so I guess it's part of the charm. It's just have to deal with it.
One of my favorites was like my partner at one point. I was on a planet and I could see him on my map, but I was looking around. I couldn't find him fucking anywhere. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it says he's right here. Like, I can see the little blip on the icon. Like, okay, well, where the hell is he? I look up, he's like walking in the sky like a mile up. Like, what the fuck? Oh. He's behind me.
Freak5 says, I have been playing Skull. It is fun. I think Freak5 turned into a robot. I really do.
I know it sounded like a conehead to me.
Did it? Okay, maybe he's a conehead.
He's from France.
Skull is that weird roguelike where you play as like a demon guy, I think.
Ah, okay. You know what do you remember, Eric, what was the name of that one game where it was like totally over the top, like fucking on if the guy was on steroids, it was this Mexican dude and he had like a big belt buckle and it was a really fun game, but what the hell was the name? It was something
Shadows of the Damned?
Shadows of the Damned, that's it. Aren't they doing a
remaster?
It's getting a remaster. I was like, damn, that's cool as fuck. I can't wait for that game, man. It was just way over the top and fun. He had this when I saw that skull name there, it reminded me of that gun that he had.
Yeah, and he shouts, "I'm shooting my big boner."
Yeah, big boner. I remember that. That's such an over the top great game. It was from wasn't that a Suda 51 joint, Eric?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are segments where like your demon girlfriend goes insane and tries to kill you in a fashion not dissimilar to Evil Dead 2.
Yeah. I thought that game was fun. I never finished it. Of course, that's kind of a running theme with anything I ever fucking pick up and play. No, that's not true. That last year was my best year ever finishing games. I don't think I'm gonna beat that record this year at all. But anyways, okay. What else you been playing, Break?
So Starfield, and I haven't advanced the story a little bit, but I've not beat it yet.
Yeah.
And I don't know when I will. I'm gonna play through it eventually, but I just
I mean, that's kind of one of those games where you don't really have to beat it, in order to have a ton of fun. Break,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I got I'm hoping they fix some of the problems I'm having with some of my outposts, like shit disappearing and stuff.
Oh Jesus.
Like gun turns completely disappearing from one thing, and next thing I know, it's overrun with alien life form. Like, what the fuck is going? Where are my turrets at? God damn it! Fuck.
Maybe while you were gone, it got attacked, and shit. Like maybe when you were gone, it got attacked. Break. You just have to look at it that way.
They stole my gun turrets.
They stole your shit. Yeah.
These aliens are smart, man. Smart.
Right.
Which I haven't come across aliens yet, so maybe I should advance the story now that I think about it, because I completely forgot there's supposed to be aliens in the game.
You haven't run into any aliens yet?
Just like the monster, like the creatures of the planet, stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Like some planets have like a giant dinosaur, a giant like tick-looking thing and shit, but I haven't come across any intelligent alien like that.
Have you run into any space squirrels?
Space squirrels. Fuck that noise.
I've come across a lot of space, like there's space cockroaches, like I said, space ticks, space. They look like giant squids, but they're on land. Multiple dinosaurs. Like goddamn dinosaurs are all over the fucking galaxy.
Yeah.
Flying things. Every once in a while, I'll find something that swims. That's rare, but every once in a while. Anyway, so also I've been playing Borderlands 3, and I beat that, and I haven't moved on to the DLC yet because I don't like the character I'm using.
Don't like what?
I don't like the character I'm using. He's lame, he says stupid shit, and he's just not as fun to play with. Because I was trying some of the other characters, and I found that I really like playing as one of the other characters. So I've just been on a goal to get that character up to the level of max level, so I can switch him out with the other one.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I like the what's it, Flack, the robot. He's a lot of fun. The other guy's just kind of a douchebag.
Did you ever beat Super Mario Odyssey, Break?
No, I haven't played it in a while actually. I need to play it. I got up to a part where you're supposed to race, and I'm like, I don't feel like racing, and I just haven't picked it up since.
Oh God, the racing's the worst. I can't.
I haven't even tried it. It's just I hate racing for the most part.
I know. What else you been playing, Break?
Really, that's it. Just trying to grind through Borderlands for the most part, trying to get my level up.
Yeah.
I'm like level 30 something now, so I'm about almost halfway there.
Yeah. All right. There you go. All right, Eric, what you been playing?
I've been playing Princess Peach Showtime. I finished that. I'll have a review up whenever it's ready. I just didn't get around to it this week, along with a couple other reviews. I also played a little bit on my Steam Deck just to see how well certain games would play. So I played Nier Automata for like a bit, and I'm surprised that significant portions of that game play at 60 FPS on the Steam Deck.
Oh, wow. That's great.
But I'm guessing once I get to the overworld section, it's going to probably drop to more like 45, because there's a lot of stuff going on in certain parts of that game in the overworld.
45 is not that bad. Oh, Jen's doing a raid. What's up, Jen? Nice to have you here.
But I think it's Replicant that's going to be taxing, and it's probably not going to play close to 60, because there's a lot more going on in that game visually. So it's
Yeah,
probably more demanding.
I guess even at 30 FPS, that'd be all right. Jen, welcome. Who else is coming in on the raid? I'll welcome all of them in too. Thank you for
I
coming
wanted to
on
be
in.
bothered by playing Replicant at 30 because that's how I played the original release of that game.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Anything else, Eric?
Oh yeah, I also played a bit of Dark Souls on the PC, and I started a new character because I decided, I already played Magic User for my PlayStation 4 version, Trophy Hunt,
Yeah.
and so I decided to do a Faith build with Pyro on the side because I had never done a Faith build before.
All right.
And I played Metal Dogs, which is it's a Metal Max game, but it's a spin-off because you're playing as the dog characters and you go on missions, and it's entirely mission focused, and it's kind of like playing Gauntlet because you're going through these small dungeons and then you have to fight hordes of enemies, and there are no monster dens that you have to destroy, but there are wanted boss monsters that spawn enemies if you don't
and warrior can block elf's path so they can't get past.
Yeah.
Right. And do you
But there are no potions that blow up if you shoot them, so don't worry about that.
Do you need?
But you can't shoot food though.
I know.
No, there's no food to pick up.
God damn it! I was gonna say
There are
you don't.
items you can pick up that heal you, but they don't blow up if you shoot them.
You don't need food badly in that game.
No.
Damn it! I don't know if I want to play it then. All right. Anything else, Eric?
I played a little bit of Final Fantasy VII, a bit more, and then I got to the end of Disc 1, and I decided that's where I'm going to stop for now, because the patch for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is out, so I can resume that soon.
Awesome. Okay, let's move on to
RPGrinders. Did I mention Super Mario Brothers Wonder?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
It's on the reviews. Breakman, do you have any reviews this week?
Actually, I could review a couple of things. I was earlier. Was it last year? I think the end of last year, or maybe beginning of this year. I was going through the DC universe, reviewing a bunch of their movies and stuff.
Yeah.
And I got sidetracked with some other things, but I kind of got back to it. And let me see. I reviewed the original Suicide Squad, which is a turd of a movie in every single way.
Oh my God, it was so bad.
Then we had the Harley Quinn movie, which they got Harley Quinn right.
Right.
Nothing else about the movie was good, but they got her right.
Right.
And they stuck with her since then. Like, she stayed that, which is good. Because in the next one, the Birds of Prey was a little bit better as a movie, but
Yeah.
No, that was the Harley Quinn movie.
Or no, wait.
It was Birds of Prey starring Holly.
Oh, right. Yeah, Birds of Prey, and then what was the other one? I'm forgetting the third one then.
The Suicide Squad?
The Suicide Squad.
No, there was another. Isn't there a third movie? I thought it was.
No.
That was it. The Suicide Squad, which is the reboot of Suicide Squad.
Yeah, the Suicide Squad.
Which is the movie that I wanted to review today.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
It is a lot better in every way.
The James Gunn movie that kickstarted him basically doing DCU.
Yeah.
I just, with the way DC is operating at the end, or even though they've rebooted the universe and this is like dying, like, it was too bad because they finally felt like they're hitting their stride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it finally felt like they're giving us things like Shazam. And
I'm pretty sure Margot Robbie's locked into that role, so whenever they do another Harley Quinn thing, she'll probably be in it.
That's good. But this one, they got the idea of the Suicide Squad better. Like, lives are expendable in this one. For instance, like, people die in gory, gruesome ways that are often hilarious also. Kind of like The Boys. And yeah, that does remind me of The Boys in that way. Have these really gory but hilarious deaths. Like, you don't want to laugh because that's disgusting, but you can't help yourself.
I mean, I get, like, Peacemaker is basically just Homelander without superpowers.
No, he's more conflicted than. Well, I guess in the movie, yeah, in Suicide Squad, yeah, he is. I don't want to get into the TV show yet because I that too.
But the TV show's about rehabilitating himself
Yeah,
and him failing at it.
you're getting more into in depth into his personality and stuff like that, and he's a lot more complex than he seemed in the movie. Like, especially when you learn his father's like the fucking KKK superhero, like fuck, or their version of a superhero, which was a villain, but you know what I mean. But anyway, so the Suicide Squad, obviously, they're expendable. Waller's the queen bitch sends them on a mission to go fight. Well, I don't want to go on the surprise. Well, I think everybody probably knows about it now. Starro, Justice League's original villain. Starro is the enemy in this movie, and yeah, they have a lot of fun with it. They introduce some characters that you wouldn't expect from the comics, like
I like how Starro's race was used as the antagonist in that Batman Beyond episode where he joined up with the Justice League.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because Superman was apparently under his control for like years or something like that, which is fucked up. I think so. Anyway, so yeah, I liked it a lot. It's a hard R, very funny, and at the same time, they're not afraid to take on sensitive subjects and the call part one too.
Yeah, that's what the episode was called. Yeah.
Okay. Those episodes. Anyway, so yeah, it's really good. And then I decided to watch Peacemaker, which picks up right afterwards. It really picks up right after the end credits scene of the movie Suicide Squad, which is at one point you're made to think that Peacemaker dies, but he survives. And since we've already talked about him and everybody knows there's a show, I mean, it's not really a spoiler at this point. Right? So he survives, and he was the other villain really in the movie. Like he was the human villain, whereas Starro was like the super villain, type thing. And Peacemaker, he's the lovable, goofy. You want to hate him, but at the same time, like you're like, well, he means well. I mean, he's a racist fucker, but he means well. I mean, it's not. At certain point. He admits like he doesn't want to be the way he is. Like when he's alone, he starts bawling his eyes out. Like he hates who he is. He doesn't like himself. He wants to change, and that alone makes you kind of want to root for him.
It's kind of like an anti-hero. It's like
yeah, he's kind of on a path to redemption, sort of. I mean. He's still an asshole by the end of the movie, but he's still like he's trying to be better. You get the idea that like next season he'll probably still be an asshole, but he'll try and be better.
Kind of like a recovering drug addict, maybe.
Yeah,
kind of like that. Like I was thinking more like an ex member of the KKK or something like that. Somebody who kind of grew up with it, and as they got older, were like, no, I don't agree with this, and broke off, kind of thing. But they're still
they can't help but slip every once in a while, type thing.
Because they've been programmed like that.
Yeah,
so they've been taught that like everything is this way, but then they get into the real world and see it's not like that, and it's like confusing.
Yeah. So what are you giving the Suicide Squad, Breakman?
I'm giving them both a 9. Both Suicide Squad and Peacemaker are fantastic. You have to watch them. Like if you watch the movie, watch the show right away, just right away.
Yeah.
Even though Idris Elba isn't in the movie or in the TV show, and he's fantastic in the movie, it's still the show's fantastic too.
Yeah. Well, we're getting plenty of Idris Elba with the Sonic or the Knuckles TV show that's coming out next month.
Yeah.
Wyland says Peacemaker season 2 is going to be odd since it's going to be a reboot because of the new universe. I don't think it's going to be too bad, Wyland. I think it'll be all right. I trust in James Gunn. He's a brilliant mind, man, and he's gonna bring this shit all together. It's gonna
he obviously loves comics.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt, man. He loves Marvel and DC, which. I hate the whole Marvel versus DC thing. You can love both, right? I like both. So
I can't wait until the future because it will happen. We are going to get crossover movies in the future.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
I don't know.
You guys,
I did watch the new season of Invincible, but I wasn't going to review that.
I have not seen the new season of
Still haven't
Invincible.
yet to watch the original and the spin
Oh God, the original's really good. The original season, first season's really good. I haven't seen the second season, but yesterday one of my coworkers asked me to buy him a new car. I told him no. He then said he wanted me to buy him a Bentley or Rolls Royce. I told him definitely not. He said, so if it is something cheaper, it will be a yes. I said no. Well, of course, Freak 5. Okay, I'm going to do mine real quick, and then we'll get to Eric's.
Workers ask you to buy that.
I know.
Jesus Christ. Oh, I still wanted to say, like, the dance number at the beginning of Peacemaker is so fucking weird and funny at the same time.
Scotoma
Like,
says, no, I'm DC only. I sneak Marvel. I like both, Scotoma. You can like both. I grew up with all those comics. Batman, Blade, Spider-Man, all that shit, man. It's just a lot of fun.
My favorites in each one,
Yeah, I like all of them.
And I love the crossover comics they did too. I thought those were always fun.
The crossovers were fun.
They let the fans vote on who won the fight.
And I like other companies like Image and Valiant and all these other. I mean, I was a huge comic book fan to begin with. Spawn, and I can think of a million others. But let's see. Wyland says Peacemaker's outro in MK1 is part of the dance. Freak 5 says. Freak 5 says, I went to the store last night and saw a big bin of Hot Wheels, so I bought one and stuck a rectal use only sticker on it. When I got to work, I put it in his mailbox. That was mean. Freak 5. All day I was telling other coworkers to ask him about his new car.
Oh, man.
Wow. All right. I'm going to do my reviews real quick. One is for a movie. You guys see the new season of Invincible? I have not, Scotoma. I think Break did, and Eric hasn't seen even season 1. All right. Baghead. It's a horror movie along the lines of... oh shit! What is the name of that movie where there's like a creepy hand that you hold on and it's God damn it!
Talk to Me?
No, what? It's a new movie.
Is the name of the movie?
No. I have this movie. Hold on. Where's my phone? God damn it!
I thought the movie you're thinking of is Talk to Me.
Talk to Me. That's it, Eric. Good job. I didn't hear you for I don't know why, but all right, yeah. Talk to Me, along the lines of Talk to Me. Although there's no hand or anything, it's just this bag-headed person that comes out of a wall, and you basically get to see somebody that in your past that has passed for 10 minutes, but atmospheric and eerie, but a little formulaic at times. I give this movie a 7 out of 10. I think it's a worthy watch. It's on Shudder. And then the other movie I watched was called Third Saturday of October, and it's a modern movie. It was made this year, or last year, I should say. But it tries to bring back the old grindhouse type feel of movies, and it's very successful at that. But they try to make it look like a low budget, kind of grindhouse movie, and sometimes it works really well, sometimes it doesn't. It's basically about a guy who's being executed. So if you can think of the movie Shocker, where they tried to shock him and he kind of came back as like this electric monster or something, but in this case he just comes back from the dead. So and he is out for vengeance type of thing. It's interesting. I wouldn't say it's bad, but I definitely wouldn't say it's good. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I think it's worth a watch, and there is a sequel that I'm going to check out on Shudder as well. And that's it. Did we cut out? Are we back? I don't.
Yeah, we cut out. But so I got. Let's see.
It looks like we're still going.
It says live now, so...
Yeah, we should be back. Can you guys hear us? Refresh. Let me just put that in there. There was no... Okay, for a second. Okay, we're back. I don't know what happened there. There was no cutoff. Like, it didn't... this computer hasn't dropped even one frame, so we're good to go. $2 I spent on the Hot Wheel was well worth the amusement. Yeah, I bet. Okay, thankfully you guys are back. Okay, So I would recommend both those movies on Shudder. Baghead 7 out of 10. Third Day of October 5 out of 10, but it's still worth a watch. Very
So
average,
if you can't reach the remote, go ahead and watch that one.
what's that?
If you can't reach the remote, you should watch it.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, I would say even if you're messing around on Shudder, give it a look. It's worth watching once at least. All right, Eric, you got a shit ton. Can we work through these fairly quickly?
Yeah, I watched a double feature of Rascal Does Not Dream of a Sister Venturing Out and Rascal Does Not Dream of a Knapsack Kid. These are the next two movies in the Rascal series because they are based on arcs in the manga that are too small to be put into an actual season. Otherwise, the season episode count would be like in an order that just isn't standard. And I guess they didn't want to do that, so they made them films. So it's about the first movie is about it's about I have to explain because the show has some. It's basically a direct continuation of the show's arc, and basically like there's these weird phenomena that are going on that's related to like his this thing that's called puberty syndrome, which is basically like a made up term, but it's a phenomenon used to describe like people who like have delusions about like secret societies and aliens and conspiracies and stuff like that. But like the thing is that the phenomenon in the show that's going on is based on those ideas, and like they had to figure out why that's happening and how to solve the issues. And like the show starts off with this girl who nobody can see, and everybody seems to have forgotten her. So she felt that she was invisible, so it became a reality. And like he's the only one that can see her, and he's trying to figure out how to get everybody to recognize her again. And once that happens, there's a whole slew of issues.
I think I'm gonna start cutting carbs.
But anyways, so the show ends with like an issue resolving with his sister, but now since his sister's going into high school and she was out for so long because the issue she dealt with like basically kept her as a shut-in and living in his apartment, and now she's trying to readjust back to school, and she's having a hard time entering high school because she's got anxiety issues still, and her grades aren't up to snuff, and she thinks she can't get into school. So the whole movie's about her going into high school, and it ultimately ends with her going to an online schooling program. And the next movie is about resolving an issue where kind of like turning around the idea of his girlfriend being invisible. He becomes invisible, and he has to figure that out. Both movies are really good, and they set up the next arc, which there's an announcement for the season 2 at the end, so that was nice. So I'm gonna give both these movies an 8.5.
All right.
And then I watched a series that's no longer at Amazon Prime anymore, but if you're curious, I guess you could always check the torrent sites. But I watched RPGrinders, which is a show about this kid who gets dragged into the fictional world of a show he was watching. And before getting both of those characters or the character from that show and him going back to the real world, because the idea is that they're being drawn into the real world for some reason. And while the show never explains why the phenomena really happened in the first place, it boils down to the fact that one of the creations of this girl who was basically doing a Jojin original character, basically she finds out how she was created and the circumstances that led to her creator committing suicide and getting mad at the world for it. And so she's trying to basically wipe out humanity. And so they use all these other characters that were pulled from other works of fiction to try to stop her. And it's kind of interesting because like they have issues with their own creators, and they ask interesting questions, and basically is commentary on like how creators feel about their own work and whether or not care whether or not they could actually think about revising stories and whether or not and why they make stories the way they do. Because like they basically treat these creators as their own gods. Because like the stuff that happens in their world and the circumstances surrounding them, it's like, what would you do if you found out if your life was basically dictated by someone in another reality, and
like Truman
you're
Show.
you're upset about the state of the world that you came from.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just gobsmacked by what I'm looking at here. Freak Five put in a link to YouTube, and the name of the song is "I Glued My Balls to My Butthole Again." So I just thought that was pretty funny. He said, "Listen to the song later." Maybe I'll play
Anyways,
it as the outro.
I'm giving Recreators an 8.
Okay.
And then I watched Wonka, which is a musical. And it's not like there's musical numbers like in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It's more like the Sweeney Todd musical, where there's a song almost every 5 minutes, which goes on for about 2.5 minutes or so. It was okay. It's basically a prequel to about how Wonka got his start as the world-renowned chocolate maker he became, and it's not bad. I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay. And the last one.
And the best part of the movie is obviously Paul Bettany as the Oompa Loompa Lofty, yeah, that's his name. And Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is also like, I think we're gonna give it a 6.5. And there's not much to say about it.
Oof.
The villain.
You're being generous.
Like, the villain is Black Manta, and he's supposed to be the main villain in the movie, but he kind of plays second fiddle to this other villain, which is funny because once it's revealed that this evil dude that's possessing him is the real villain, before he can get up and do anything, he gets killed immediately. So it's anticlimactic.
Yeah, I didn't like that movie.
And like the best part of it was probably Arthur like basically trolling Orm by tricking him to eating cockroaches.
Yeah, I thought that was a little forced, but whatever. I didn't like that movie too much.
I think also Aquaman didn't use his full power set. Like, he was taught this basically water Kamehameha ability that he just doesn't use in the film at all.
Yeah.
And like Willem Dafoe's character doesn't show up, and the reason like they justify for him not being there is we're just gonna kill off your character then, because we know that this entire Snyderverse is ending, so why bother?
Yeah, I thought that movie was really disappointing. I think that's the final movie of that Snyderverse thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I say 6.5. Make it a 6.
Yeah, I think that's overly generous. So, Eric, I don't think I reviewed that movie, but if I did, it would have been like a 4. I was really disappointed in that movie. But, okay. Any other reviews, Eric?
Nope, I get that all.
All right, let's move on to our Stinkos of the week.
Ah, what is it?
Stinko of the week.
All right, Breakman, your Stinko of the week.
Okay. It's been a few weeks. Last week I wasn't here for a personal reason, and I'm not going to talk about that. But that's number one and most important one. Next, I know this was a couple weeks ago, but Louis Gossett Jr. died.
He did?
You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, dude, yeah, Louis Gossett Jr. died.
What the fuck? Enemy Mine was one of my favorite movies of his. Either that or Jaws 3D.
Digstown.
Digstown was great too.
Fucking love Digstown.
Digstown was good. Yeah.
I mean, what's his name's Dick now, but he was a good actor.
Who?
James Woods.
Oh yeah, James Woods. Yeah, James Woods was good in Cat's Eye.
Yeah.
His little vignette. Yeah. All right.
So yeah, he died, and that's sad. Also, he was in one of the best TV shows I think I've ever seen, The Watchmen.
Oh, The Watchmen. Yeah.
That one season of The Watchmen was fucking amazing. Anyway, let's move on here. There was a local basketball team that, or not, I mean, there was not a local basketball team, but there's a basketball team that went to another state, Iowa, I think, and they were berated by, racists and hate speech and stuff like that. And the reason I bring it up is because I've seen a lot of people defending them. And the people here, well, those women weren't under threat. Those girls weren't any threat at all. Like, the guys never got out of their cars. They were just honking their horns at them, just calling names. Like, these girls are overreacting.
Okay. Okay. What else you got, Break?
Yeah, I hate people. Anyway, there was a video that came out about a couple weeks ago of some of the cops have been hiding for the last 2 years. There was a hostage. She'd been kidnapped by her father, who had just murdered her mother. And the cops, I guess he wrecked or something, and the cops were behind him and the car. And the girl got out and tried to run to the cops. So you know what the cops did, right, Frank?
Let me guess. They shot and killed her?
Yes, they shot and killed her.
Yeah.
And then for 2 years, they hid the video.
Oh, awesome.
Until it was through court subpoenas, it was finally released,
Can you send me that link, Break, when you get a chance? I know you,
Sure. Do you guys think O.J. Simpson killed Nicole? I think water's wet. Scotoma.
I mean, it's pretty... I don't know.
He beat her repeatedly.
There's no question he beat her.
Yeah, and she said, look, if anything ever happens to me,
OJ did it. Yeah, and then he came out with that book that said, if I did it, I'm like...
How I would have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
See,
stupid.
the thing is, I don't think he ever did it. I think the reason he was able to get away with it is because he didn't do it alone. I think he had an accomplice.
Maybe. Maybe. All right.
That's my personal opinion. But yeah, he definitely killed her. So anyway, I have one more here. Actually, I got two more. The people who were expecting that same guy to confess on his deathbed, he's a monster. Monsters don't confess.
Yeah.
Unless they're actually really proud of it, like John Wayne Gacy, who bragged about it.
Yeah.
I mean, but for the most part, they're just, they're not going to say they're guilty. Especially a guy who's claimed his innocence his whole life. He wants his legacy to be, he's thinking about, I'm in the Hall of Fame and stuff like that. There was no way in hell he's ever going to confess.
Yeah. All right. What else you got, Break?
And the other one is Arizona has decided to outlaw abortion in all its forms from a law that was created in the 19th century.
I saw even Donald Trump was taking exception to that shit. Break.
Do you know when Arizona became a state?
It was 18.
Nope.
It's
the 20th century. It was 1912.
Whoa.
They're going off a law that was made almost 100 years before they were a state.
Wow. Awesome.
1912. Look at that. Freak knows. You're right on, freak.
1912. Yeah. Coworker says it's now safe to collect OJ memorabilia because you don't have to worry about him stealing it from you. Oh, man. That's a good one.
I saw that and I said, well, finally justice. But really, it's not. He got away with murder.
Yeah. Well, I mean, allegedly. I mean, he was found not guilty. I mean, whatever you think. I mean, that's our justice system, which I will be talking about in a little bit here.
Yeah, our justice system is such a joke. The people who think the system is rigged against Donald Trump don't know what's going on. The system is rigged against people without money.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not the people with the money, the corporations. They're the people who can afford to fight. They can afford the delays and the appeals. Most people, when we do appeal process, if it's a jail term, we have to sit in jail while we wait for the appeal process to get out. Rich people don't have to do that.
No, because they have the money to bond out, even if it's $1 million. It's like they don't give a fuck. Here's $1 million. I'll be chilling while my lawyers get me off. Skonoma says, wasn't he in prison in Nevada? Yes, he was, but he got out. He served his time, Skonoma, for that.
It wasn't for murder though. It was
No.
for stealing for trying to steal his own memorabilia at gunpoint.
Yeah.
Like apparently he believed the stuff was stolen, but it wasn't. It was bought from an auction or something like that, and OJ wanted to get it back.
Mm-hmm.
And he took matters into his own hands with a gun and a stupid attitude. They got him to prison.
Yeah. All right. What else you got, Break?
Are we still on me? No, I got nothing. That's it.
All right, Eric. I didn't see you had a stinko at all, so I will go with mine. Speaking of our justice system, I just covered a trial. I don't know if you guys remember me talking about Kyle Vincent. He was a guy that was basically sitting down with a couple of his friends. The cops show up. The two friends take off running. He sits there, right, with his hands up and complying, and they get him on the ground, and he's on his back with his palms up, and they're real rough with him. They turn him over, and he's in this mulch, right? And he can't fucking breathe, so he's kind of like trying to struggle to breathe. So they beat the shit out of him, and this one cop in particular had him at gunpoint. Which, why did you have your gun out? He was on the ground, but he decides to use the butt of his gun and bash his head in, and he got 5 stitches in his head, and he got a big old black eye and a big old welt the size of a softball on the side of his face, and it was a big deal in Aurora, Colorado. Well, that cop was found. Can you guess, Breakman?
I'm going to find innocent on all counts.
Are you sure there's 5 counts? Now, are you really sure about that?
100% innocent on all counts.
Yes, not guilty on all counts.
All 5, damn.
All 5 of them, not guilty. I sat in the courtroom, and I was like, the wind was out of my sails. I was like, what the living hell? So it just proved a lot of things. It proves that we need improvements to our judicial system, including getting rid of all the fucking judges that are there now. And all the fucking lawyers need to be redone. And the jury needs to be redone too. I suggest the jury not even being seen by the judge or any of the lawyers. Like when you do jury selection, you just talk to them and you hear a voice that is changed, right? So everybody's voice is the same. So you can't pick a white woman or a black man or a brown guy or an Asian, or none of that is in consideration. You go based on your survey that you do and the questions that you ask, and that is it. And you're not allowed to ask ethnicity. You're not allowed to ask what type of work you do. None of that. You just ask questions that would be pertinent to your particular case, and that's it. And I think that would solve our jury problem. The end. So that's one of my stinkos. The other is my company.
That says corrupt just us.
Yeah, corrupt just us. That's right, Skonoma. 100%. And you know what I'm talking about, Skonoma. I think you were one of the few people that agreed with me on the jury. I know it's a jury of your peers. Well, how about we make everybody our peers, and you just ask the question to an anonymous voice. And if that's the person that you want on your jury, then that's who you pick, and vice versa for the defense and the prosecution. I don't think you should know who the jurors are, period. Not even the judge, period. So, I don't know. Let's see, what else do we...
when they interview him after the trial. I love that.
Oh, yeah. Trump is getting treated so much better than any of us would. Talking about the judge's daughter. If we did that, we'd be slapped down so fast by the judge. I'll do you one better, Freak 5. There's a guy, I can't really stand him. His name is Eric Brandt. He was a First Amendment auditor that just pushed the boundaries. And he did a lot of good work, but he did a lot of bad work. But long story short, I don't like him. But he threatened a federal judge, and that got him 12 years in prison. So, yeah, you're right. Like, if we even mentioned the judge's daughter, we would be in jail for a good long time. The people on my Facebook friends list told me that black men who were murdered by police would still be alive if they just did what the police wanted, and to trust the justice system are now saying that the justice system can't be trusted. And then Scotum follows that up with corrupt just us. That's right.
Yeah, I was one of the people that believed that, like, if you just listen to what the cops tell you, you would survive. And then we got video after video after video of the police, of people doing exactly what the police told them to do, and then get murdered anyway.
No, and then Freak 5 says something really, really, really thoughtful here, and I thought about this too, Freak 5. He says, I hadn't thought about it before, but I wonder if the police are let off so often because the jurors are afraid of retaliation from the rest of the police department. You hit the nail on the head, Freak 5. That's why juries should be completely anonymous, and they should be treated as such. I agree. Jurors have an important role in this whole thing, right? We the people type thing. But they should be treated like with gold gloves. You get them in, you pick your jury, and nobody knows who they are. You can't even see them. They're behind screens. You don't know their voices. None of that. And even during the trial, I don't think anybody should be able to see them. They should be able to see all of everything going on around in the courtroom, but we should not be allowed to see them. Period. And then they just...
in some of the lawyer shenanigans too.
Absolutely, I mentioned that, the lawyer shenanigans. Well, here's another thing. Here's another little insight to our justice system. They're all in it together. Prosecution and defense, they all like each other. They go golfing together. They all hang out. They eat dinner.
They'll actually go to dinner with each other after having a case during the day.
Yes, they were all shaking hands like it was this, it was disgusting. So fuck that shit and fuck that cop. He's now a former cop, thankfully. But here's the other sick thing. Now he can get his job back if he wants, which I wouldn't recommend it because I'm going to be watching you, you motherfucker. And he's going to sue for back pay too. And of course, the people will have to pay for that too. So, all right. I don't hate the cops, Breakman. I just hate corruption. That's what I hate.
Sure.
I do. I hate the corruption. That's what I hate. And that's what I rail against.
Which, because they're corrupt.
Well, yeah. There you go. And then my comforter. I was cutting off the little strings with the scissors. Sometimes your comforters kind of unravel a little bit, and you cut the strings off. And I don't know how the fuck I did this, but I misjudged, and I just cut a piece of my comforter right out. It was awesome, right in the middle too. So it's not like I can hide it or anything like that. So there you go. Let's move on to happier thoughts, guys.
Dude, what does my tattoo say?
Sweet! Sweet of the week!
All right, Breakman, your Sweeto of the week.
I want to give it to a place called Angel's Paws. I don't want to go into details, but we needed their help, and they were great.
Awesome. Anything else, Break?
No, that's it.
Eric, you didn't have a Sweeto, so can I go into my Sweeto?
Yeah, sure.
All right. My Sweeto is simply Breakman is back this week. So welcome back, Break. We haven't done this in a while, so here we go, guys. We're going to enter the panic zone.
You've reached the panic zone.
All right, guys, we're back in the panic zone. We didn't do it last week, Break, so we're going to have two panic zones this week. We're going to start with Eric's panic zone first. So, Break, you're going to... me and Eric are going to go this week, and then you're going to have a panic zone next week, our final week of the month. All right?
Sounds good.
All right.
Mine's just a simple math problem.
Okay. What do you got for us, Eric?
Okay. I want you, what would you get if you got the equation 50 plus 50 times 2?
Let's see, 150, Eric.
Yes.
All right. Well,
and obviously, you've already basically gave it away with your answer, because if you got it wrong, we would have continued.
Yeah.
But like, I showed you. Remember that tweet I showed you about Ian Miles Chong, the total idiot that was getting mad at Google because he tried to calculate 50 plus 50 times 2, and he thought the answer was 200. But that's not how calculations work, because the actual calculation is 50 times 2, and you're just adding 50 on top of it.
Do you know why, Eric? Do you know why?
Hmm?
Do you know why?
Because that's how calculations work on a calculator.
Well, how
it doesn't think to add the 100 to the times 2, because that's not what calculators do. It's just adding 50 plus the calculation it's already done.
Yeah, you don't go from left to right when it comes to math. There's a hierarchy, right? Yeah. So multiplication is always first. Division is second. Addition is third, and subtraction is fourth. So you, of course, you multiply first, and then you do the adding at the end, and that's where you come up with 150. Interesting.
I was never actually told that in school, which says a lot about my education.
Well, that's really weird. I definitely was. That's
it probably was the reason I was so bad at higher levels of math, because I didn't understand the fundamentals as well as I should have.
Yeah. It's an algebraic principle, Eric, for sure.
But the thing with the unit that makes it funny is that we can't exactly fault him for thinking that way, but him yelling at Google about whether or not the calculator is busted is just like, that's him just being.
It's just like some.
It's just the tip of the iceberg of how stupid and terrible he is.
Yeah. All right. Well, here's my scenario, guys. Okay, imagine you remember the last scenario I did, right? So it's kind of a take on that, but a little bit different. So imagine that you are in the mountains, right? You're on the first mountain of, several mountains or whatever, and you're overlooking the city, kind of in the distance, but not super far to where you can't really, see a lot of what's going on. And you're chilling out on your front porch. You're having a smoke, or drinking a beer, or drinking a Coke, or snorting Coke, or whatever the fuck you're doing on your porch, right? And you're just chilling. You're just having a good evening. It's a nice evening. Nice little breeze is going on. And then all of a sudden, you're looking over at the city and all the pretty lights and all that stuff. And you hear this. All right, so it's another Godzilla scenario, but this time from the perspective of you in the mountain. You're watching the city, and Godzilla is battling another kaiju right in the middle of the city, right? And they're going at it. Buildings are tumbling. You're freaking out. You're looking at it. You're wondering what the fuck is going on, and you get your binoculars. You look, and Godzilla is battling Mecha Godzilla. What's that?
He's batting 1,000.
He's batting 1,000. Yes, he's batting 1,000.
Similar to your last one, but now it's
very similar, but a different perspective, guys. You're now in the mountains, but you do notice that the battle is drawing kind of near the mountains, and it kind of looks like Godzilla could.
It's kind of like Goku and Vegeta fighting. He just throws Vegeta, and then all of a sudden he's hitting him out.
Right. So you're noticing that they're going at each other, and they're coming straight towards where you are. What do you do? I'll start with Breakman.
Well, kaiju are moving. They're so big, and even when they're moving slow, they're moving at an incredible rate compared to what we can move.
Yes.
If they're heading towards the mountain already, I would look for cover at that point, because it's too late.
Go into a cave if there's a cave somewhere. And hope you don't get caved in.
Oh, okay.
If the fight's in the distance, you have time to run. But if it's coming your way, you have time to hide.
Right.
Look for cover. That's it. That's all you can do.
Run for cover. Okay, very good. Okay, you guys want to know what I would do?
Wayland's like, finally, I hate that city and the people. Me, probably.
Finally, I hate that
You're
fucking
finally
city.
gone.
Yeah, finally, I don't have to deal with that bullshit anymore.
Oh yeah, hit that building over there. Sweet, I'll have to pay my bill next week.
Sweet. So here's kind of what I was thinking, right? If you have a hand glider, you're home free, right? You just go off of the side of the mountain, and whichever direction they're going, you just kind of glide over to the left or glide over to the right, right? And
You just kind of have a hang glider, just kind of have one, huh?
well, I mean, like if you had one, I would think if you're kind of up there, I mean, that'd be kind of one of the things that you would do. Frank would die because his old ass couldn't move fast. Yeah, how dare you, Freak Five, you son of a bitch! You're exiled. God damn it, that's the first exile I've given in 2 weeks. Jesus
It'd be
Christ.
like that scene from the American Godzilla movie where Godzilla goes to step on him and then he steps away and Frank's just sitting there in the middle like it because he just like was right between the toes, just barely missed him.
Eric, I mean, Breakman, you're exiled, you son of a bitch.
He just saved me from dying. Oh my, okay, fine, Frank. Whatever.
All right, so I mean, in lieu of that, obviously not everybody has a hand glider, but I thought that would be kind of a cool way to escape that shit, right? Is plop on that thing and just fly on out of there. All right, in lieu of that, I'm going to go to my cellar, which, I mean, everybody up in the mountains should have a cellar, right?
Yeah.
And just chill out there. Even if the house gets leveled, your cellar is going to be A-okay, and, you might have to rebuild and shit, but, you'd be okay. Enjoy your wine or whatever the fuck you got down there, your doomsday prepping, MREs that you've had in there forever, and finally the day has come. Scotama says, I would fly towards them and one punch them out like One Punch Man.
Yeah. Well, in that case, I'm going to go Ultraman and turn into a giant and fight back myself.
Well, there you go. I mean, shit. I mean, why not?
Or we could get all the people in the world to go get Gadama and have them blow away the two kaiju.
Freak 5 says Godzilla would
Godzilla
breathe fire at
just,
Frank's plants.
Sitting around Frank's house just puffing like.
Actually, that might work. I might light some of my weed on fire and just let them enjoy.
Godzilla was kind of about getting Godzilla high.
And chill them the fuck out, kind of like that.
I mean, if you think about it, they basically gassed him.
Which one, Eric?
Shin Godzilla.
Oh, Shin Godzilla, yeah.
They froze him by freezing him with gas.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought that would be
Let's
kind
just
of...
pretend they actually were just giving him weed.
I don't know. I just thought that would be kind of cool to kind of reverse the scenario and see what you guys would do if you were a higher vantage point per se, and most people would just probably hope to goodness that they wouldn't that Godzilla would not go into their path.
Use it like a pillow sheet, or no, use a bed sheet, wrap Frank around, or like tie it up like he's a joint.
Scotama, you're exiled, you son of a bitch. and then I would get eaten because Godzilla gets the munchies. How dare you? Godzilla doesn't eat people. Freak 5. I have never seen a Godzilla movie where he's eaten anyone. So how dare you?
I think he just feeds on the radiation alone.
Yeah, he eats the radiation.
Yeah.
That's why, like in most movies, like when he's going into the city, he's heading for the power plant.
Doesn't that technically make him a vegan?
Technically, I guess, yes. Hey, did you guys ever see that next Netflix series with Godzilla, the animated one?
No.
Yeah, that was really
All
good.
three
I
of
thought it
those.
was pretty good. Like he became like even bigger with all the radiation and all the humans had to leave Earth.
Did they ever finish that, or
They did, I think.
I think they only made the 3, and that was it.
Yeah, that was it. But all the humans had to leave Earth because it was so irradiated, and then the only thing on Earth that was left was Godzilla. It was pretty cool. What is Freak 5 saying? You haven't seen a Godzilla movie where Godzilla was high before either. That's not technically true. I think Eric gave you a decent example of that, but
I mean, he's not high, but he might as well be.
I mean, Godzuki blows the smoke rings.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
remember when they called him Godzuki in this?
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna play this song, guys. It's called "I Glued My Balls to My Butthole Again." I'm gonna play it. I don't give a shit. Here it is.
I can't take a dump, 'cause now my balls are blocking up my butthole. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you. Good God, I pulled too hard, now my scrotum's stretched out like a fucking yard. Oh God, my
Is this a
balls to
70s
my
song?
butthole, baby. Oh my God, what did I do? I can't take a dump, 'cause now my balls are blocking up my butthole. My lady doesn't want a life of watching her man use a butter knife. Face down, ass up, try and solve the sack. Oh baby, fucking please just take me back. I grew my balls to my butthole, baby. Oh my God, what did I do? I can't take a dump, 'cause now my balls are blocking up my butthole. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on blue. Good God, I pulled too hard, now my scrotum's stretched out like a fucking yard. Glued my ball, it was inevitable, baby. This could have happened to anyone. Life is just fun like that. I got my balls to my butthole, baby. Oh my God, what did I do? I can't take a dump, 'cause now my balls are blocking up my butthole. Good God, I pulled too hard, now my scrotum's stretched out like a fucking yard. Good God, I pulled too hard, now my scrotum's stretched out like a fucking yard.
All right, I glued my buttholes, or I glued my
How?
balls to my
Why?
butthole
Yeah,
again.
Why did you glue your balls? Why did you put glue on your balls? What's going on?
See, that's good. Well, maybe you were doing arts and crafts in the nude, Breakman, for some weird reason, and
Things happen.
you know, shit happens. You got the glue gun, and it like drops from your balls, and it gets in between, and it glues your balls to your butthole.
Peel it off. So.
This sounds like those scenarios where people go into the hospital with like foreign objects in their butt.
If your balls are getting stuck in your butthole, though, I think you got bigger problems.
Oh, like I was just walking around my house. I happened to be naked because I was doing laundry, and the broom just went all the way up my ass. I was sweeping too.
It reminded me. Have you ever seen Jackass Break?
Of course.
Okay, do you remember the one where what's his nuts put I think it was a Hot Wheel in a condom and stuck it up his ass?
Yeah.
He had to go to the doctor to get an X-ray, and the doctor's like, "Well, you have a car in your anus," like he was like trying to be all like very like doctorly, you know. It's like, oh man, so funny.
That was one of my favorites too, because Ryan Dunn. I was trying to remember his name.
Yeah, I couldn't remember his name. Thanks, Wyland.
He's gone now. I should say.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Anyways, Steve O said like that was the only time my father's ever said. Like, I told him I was going to do this, and that was the only time my father's ever said, "I'm disappointed in you" or something.
Yeah.
Freak
Freak 5 says, I think if it happened once before, you would be extra careful so it wouldn't happen again. I don't know. Maybe you're just a big fan of arts and crafts in the nude, Freak 5. You know, I mean, shit happens, you know. Scotoma says that.
Maybe you weren't sweeping this time. You know, maybe he was mopping.
Yeah. Oh man, let's see. Scotoma says, "I wish."
Your hands to the road. What the fuck is that about?
Right. I wish the people that glue their hands to the road to protest would glue their balls instead. I've never heard of that, Scotoma. That's really weird.
That's dumb.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. You know, it's pretty dumb. I mean, I guess effective because they can't just like pull you out of there. You know, it's like your hands are.
Aren't you gonna lose flesh when you try and take it off? Though?
Yes, you will, unless you do it very carefully. I think Frank does arts and crafts in the nude. That's why he is defending. I'm not defending it, Freak 5. I'm just saying that's a scenario.
No, he's just teaching us safety measures, you know, from experience.
How dare you guys? You guys are all exiled, you son of bitches. God, it's nice to exile people again. I haven't exiled people for like this was the first time in 3 weeks, I think, because we didn't do. I didn't do an exile last week.
You didn't exile people last week? What the hell?
What? I didn't exile anybody last week, man. It was crazy.
Why?
It was crazy.
What?
Well, I don't think Freak 5 was there. That's why. I think. Yeah. Have you glued your balls to your butthole before? No, the answer is no, Freak 5. And I'm not interested in finding out what that feels like. So, I value my balls and I value shitting. So, yeah, I would not do that. So, but that's a great song anyways. You know what I should do? Did they have glue back then? How dare you, Wyland, you son of a bitch, you're exiled. It was a short show because you weren't here, Break. Yeah, it was really short. It's like an hour long.
Yeah, I didn't think horses even existed back then.
You're exiled, Breakman, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. God damn it, you're in fucking... I see how it is. You guys conspired for you to come back this week and have me exile everybody. Fucking son of a bitch. All right. I'm gonna try to contact these guys and see if I can make this the theme to RPGrinders. I think that would be really appropriate, especially for Freak 5. You know, he's almost the fourth member of RPGrinders. So
I want to know how that happened. Like, what was the? It happened twice at least. I mean, they're only saying like just twice, but it's implied that maybe it's been done several times.
Freak 5, you're exiled. You son. I'm not even gonna read that. I'm not even gonna read that. It's not even worth reading. Freak 5, you son of a bitch. All right, I think it.
He was climbing a tree and it happened.
Oh, stop it, Break, man! Don't feed into his bullshit, man. Come on.
Climbing up a pine tree and
exiled. You're exiled. You sons of bitches. Okay, we need to do our plug so we can get the fuck out of here. Breakman, plug away.
That's like how food and sex like it was invented. Like somebody was like eating mashed potatoes with their hands, and then they just went to scratch their balls and told her smells lick them off or something. No?
Or maybe somebody like fucked a bowl of mashed potatoes and thought it felt nice and warm and good or some shit. And we are back, baby, Scotoma says. We're definitely back to rare form, aren't we, Scotoma? All right. Breakman, plugs. Now.
Oh, I almost forgot.
You could tell it's the RPGrinders because of that goddamn harmonica, you know. Shut up, Freak 5, you son of a bitch, you're exiled, god damn it. Fucking son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Doesn't get that, Breakman, son of a bitch. Alright, what else you got, Breakman? Anything else?
Get out of here to French, get to the ER, and get his balls unstuck with his butthole.
Breakman, you're exiled, you son of a bitch. Eric plugs, god damn it.
I'm gonna plug my audio reviews. I'm not even gonna plug Boss Master. Just don't write. I haven't written there in forever anyway, so you'd be hard pressed to even find one of my reviews from back then. I just mention it because it's something I used to do. But there's my audio reviews on the feed. I got nothing this week, but if you like what I do and you want to see more, there's a link for my Patreon and my Twitter and Blue Sky profiles, which is @RPG. And have a good weekend.
I want to exile Scotoma. I want to exile Wyland, and I want to exile Breakman. And I want to exile Freak 5 once more, just because. But what I do want to say is I want to plug Freak 5 getting his balls unglued from his butthole, because I think he's the one that really has that issue. And, brought it to our attention. So thank you, Freak 5. What else am I going to plug? Watch True Detective Season 4. It's pretty damn good. I like it. And Wyland is exiled, you son of a bitch. Sons of bitches, man. Fucking god damn it. Check out my other channel, god damn it. Mexican Long Hair, you fuckers. Son of a bitches. Exile.
Like, But you do not want to get you do not want to get glitter on your balls or in your butthole.
And you know what? I'm exiling you guys like preemptively for the next exile. So there you go. You're all fucking exiled, son of a bitches. Anything else, gentlemen?
I just can't help but think of that South Park song, "Protect My Balls" now.
All right. If there's nothing else, stay safe this weekend. We want to see you back here next week. Until then, we're out, everybody. Son of a bitches. Exile Wyland, you son of a bitch! Scotima's exiled, you son of a bitch! God damn it, I hate all of you. Every last goddamn one of you. Every fucking one of you. All of you. Go to hell.
I do.
Except for Eric. He gets a pass. Only because. Son of a bitches. I hope you guys have a really great weekend. Scotima and Freak 5 and Wyland and all the lurkers and all the archivers. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I was looking, Eric, and we are actually almost up to 17 years. So we've been at this for a very, very long time. So, I mean, you don't get up to episode 784. Or is it 784 this time? I think it is. Ugh. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's 784. You know, without
yeah, we agreed 784.
Yeah, it's 784. You know, without a lot of hard work and effort, and you know, it's people like you guys that keep the show going. Even though, you know, we've had our ups and downs. I know at the beginning we were on all games, and we had like crazy amount of people that would join us and chat, and then it just kind of died off once we went out on our own. But I'm still proud of this show. I'm proud of these guys. I'm proud of everything we accomplished, and we're going to keep continuing doing what we do. And thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. Guys, take care.
I think that was mostly because DPL was on after us.
Probably. DPL.
And then DPL moved to another day.
Yeah.
Or we moved to another day.
Yeah, and Freak 5 and Scotima are exiled again, even though we're past the show. But anyways, guys, have a great, safe week. We'll talk to you guys